Welcome to Inspired Cooking with Lana. I am a life coach who loves to cook, so thought I would combine the two and bring you good food and food for thought. So let's get started. So today I am making gumbo, and I love gumbo. I love Cajun food in general. First of all, I love Cajun food because it's typically spicy, although I'm going to tone it down a little bit today because my friend's coming over and she isn't a fan of a lot of spice, so I am going to tone it down just a little bit. But I love Cajun for the spice. So with that, we are going to start with making gumbo. So the key in making gumbo is the roux. So I've heated my pan, and now I'm going to add 1/4 of a cup of ghee. And ghee is clarified butter, and so it takes a higher heat point. And it also, if you're lactose intolerant, you can have ghee. So we're just going to let that heat up for just a little bit. My pan is already hot. And to that, I'm going to add 1/2 of a cup of almond flour. Now you could add regular flour, but I'm going to make this gluten-free, so I am going to add 1/2 of a cup of almond flour. And then here you just want to keep stirring. So the love and the time comes in the roux. So you just want to keep stirring this roux until it turns a darker brown. So I'm going to just keep stirring, and I'll show you what it looks like. I'm going to show you what it looks like now. So see, it's more of a creamy color, and then I will show you what it looks like here in just a few minutes when it turns a little more brown. And it smells delicious. I love the smell of butter, and especially, brown butter. So it really smells great. So while I'm stirring this, my friend that's coming over, she's a good friend since high school. She's a very dear friend since high school. And at one point, she was my sous chef. So I actually taught cooking classes at A Time for Everything, which is downtown Lee Summit. If you haven't been there, it is a lovely, lovely kitchen store. And in the back, they have cooking classes. They have really great cooking classes. So I went in there one day and I asked the owner if she would let me teach a class. And I was very nervous about it because I'm a home chef. I am not a certified chef. So she gave me a chance. Most of the people in there were actual chefs, at restaurants, and had graduated from school, different things. So she actually let me teach there, and it was, my very first class was terrified. So I was very nervous about doing it. I had never done it before, and so it was really scary, but but it was worth it. I really loved teaching there, and it was, and eventually it became non-scary, right? Anything, is scary in the beginning. This is getting a little hot, so I'm going to take it off the stove and keep stirring. I don't want it to burn, but I want it to get nice and brown. Okay, so I'm going to show you. See how much browner that is compared to what it was? So now it's a nice caramel color. And to here I'm going to add just a little bit of oil. So I'm adding a little bit less than 1/4 of a cup of oil. So it was 1/4 of a cup of ghee and just a little bit under 1/4 of a cup of oil. And let's see if that's hot. Yep, that's hot. So now I'm going to add 1 medium onion, 1 small green bell pepper, 1 small yellow pepper. I like a lot of color with my gumbo. And then 1 cup of celery. And all of those are about the same texture as far as firmness. So I'm just going to go ahead and put them all in at once. And we're going to stir these up and let them saute and get a little soft. So I wanted to share that story with you about, you know, I really got out of my comfort zone by asking if I could teach that class, and by teaching that class. You know, it was something that I've never done before, and you know, it was very rewarding, and at the same time, you know, in the beginning challenging and scary and all of that. But in the end, you know, it wasn't. So I just want to ask you, you know, what are some goals of yours that are scary, or that are, you know, you kind of want your goals to be scary. You know, if you're not nervous about your goals, you might want to stretch a little more and think about, you know, just pushing yourself a little bit more, and, you know, creating a goal. If you have a goal of, let's say, a financial goal, and you're not really nervous about reaching it, I would ask you to stretch yourself and increase that goal. Or if there's something, and it doesn't have to be monetary, something that you want to do, that you've always wanted to do, but you've just been afraid to try. So I am here to encourage you to go out there. It's okay to be scared. Go for something big. Go for something that you really want. Okay, I'm letting this just saute. I just need a few more minutes here on the saute, and then we'll add our next ingredient. And now I'm ready to add some garlic. I have 3 cloves of minced garlic I'm going to add. And I'm going to add a tablespoon of jalapenos. I know my friend doesn't like it hot, but I think a tablespoon will be all right. And then I'll add the rest of these to my serving later. I do like it hot. I'm going to give this a pinch of salt and some Cajun seasoning. So just have regular Louisiana Cajun seasoning, which has salt in it, so I probably didn't need to do the salt first. I love that smell. So this has a little bit of ways to go, but now I'm going to add some mushrooms. Mushrooms typically are not in gumbo, but they're in my gumbo because I love mushrooms. I love that they're earthy. Gumbo is a very earthy meal, and mushrooms are very earthy. So even though it's not traditional in gumbo, I think it's going to be good. So I think I've added plenty of the Cajun spice, which has salt in it. So I don't want this to be any more salty, but I still think I'm going for a little more flavor. So I'm going to add a little extra paprika. I'd say about a teaspoon, and a little bit of extra cumin. I love cumin. So now that my vegetables are sauteed, I transferred them into a larger pot because now I'm going to add some chicken broth. I'm going to start with 32 ounces of just organic chicken broth. So now I have my sauteed vegetables and my broth, and now I'm going to add, so the 2 meat ingredients, you can do anything you want here as far as, you know, seafood combined with chicken, combined with sausage, which I love all of that. I'm going to stick with pretty healthy, so I am going with, it's a true story, I'm going with organic chicken sausage. I don't know if you can see it at the label, it says true story. So it is a true story. I am doing chicken, organic chicken sausage. This has no MSG, no nitrates, no gluten, so all good stuff. And it's pre-cooked, so I'm just going to slice that up. And my chicken sausage all goes into the pot. And next I have some shrimp. So I have rinsed the shrimp, it's been draining, and they're smaller shrimp, which I think works great in gumbo. So I am doing chicken, sausage, and shrimp. You could add chicken, regular chicken. You could add Italian sausage, any combination that you like. For me, it's going to be chicken, sausage, and shrimp. It's not going to take long for the shrimp, so I'm going to add my final ingredient, and that is okra. And did you know that okra actually, I love okra, but it also serves as a thickening agent. So I want my gumbo to be, thick and rich, and so this will actually help thicken the gumbo. So this will be served over rice, and all I have to do is just wait for my friend to get here, and we're gonna have a nice dinner. So again, just think about what goals you have for yourself, and are they big enough? Are they, do they make you a little nervous? And I encourage you to just go out and shoot for the stars. So if you like this episode, please be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out my website at inspiredcookingwithlana.com. I will be starting a Zoom cooking class once a month. If you're interested, you can go to my website again at inspiredcookingwithlana.com. Thanks for watching.